Hello, BrightTide. Hello, investors, and hello, friends of the ocean. I'm Ed from Project QR, and I've brought my colleague Lisa here with me today. And we're here to talk to you about our vision of a sargassum-fueled circular economy.
Hi, everyone. As you would guess, it all starts with sargassum, a seaweed that is growing at unprecedented rates currently due to warming oceans and other reasons. Currently, there are about 24 million tons of it from Mexico all the way to Brazil. And that not only leads to, brown smelly mountains of decomposing waste on the world's coastlines. Sargassum is also linked to coral decline. More than 500 million people worldwide rely on corals for food and coastal protection, etc. Yet one of the many threats to corals is sargassum seaweed because it's blocking sunlight and harming them with the release of hydrogen sulfide. And that's where Project QR comes in. Our commercial business, ProjectQRSargasso's, will use a bioengineering process to transform beach-recovered excess sargassum into marine seabed substrate, aka coral fertilizer. And with that, we can then boost corals grown in labs with our NGO Project QR Restore. And our business model means we will ultimately be able to self-fund all of that NGO business because Project QR-Sargasso will not just produce coral fertilizer, but also agricultural fertilizer and hydrogen, which can be sold to farmers in global energy markets.
Yeah, so in a nutshell, we are both an NGO and a C Corp converging to create a circular economy that addresses both the coral crisis and the sargassum problem. And by doing that, we can basically contribute to multiple sustainable development goals. We can contribute to life underwater, ocean, climate, energy, and responsible production being the obvious ones. But with the production of our own in-house agricultural fertilizer, we can also help restore the world's depleted topsoils and contribute to SDG 2, which is zero hunger. So both our NGO and C Corp are registered in the United States. For the commercial business, our processing sites will be both in Albany, New York, and Bacalar, Quintana Roo, which is a region in Mexico. Quintana Roo is where we also have Project QR, our name. So once the bioengineering process is tried and tested, we can apply this as a blueprint and replicate this testbed site worldwide, wherever there's sargassum or any types of seaweed in general. We know that also here in the UK, there are many blue economy actors converging that are planning massive seaweed and sargassum farms, and we're completely supportive of this trend.
And speaking of other blue economy actors, we already have some key alliances in this space. For example, we have joined the Sustainable Ocean Alliance, from which we received the grant that allowed our team to get trained in scuba diving and coral restoration. We have partnered with Galaxy FCT, who have a solid hydrogen process patent. The CEO of Capital Coral has joined forces with us to be our chief scientific officer. And last but not least, Audi, and specifically their environmental foundation, which has given Ed a scholarship to attend this year's One Young World Summit in Manchester, where he had the pleasure and honor to give a speech about the blue economy and Project QR.
So very briefly, in a nutshell, this is our patent-ready process for the processing and production, the processing of sargassum, and from that, the production of fertilizer and hydrogen that our team has developed over the last 2 years. Our next step will be setting up the facilities and piloting this process. So here we are basically asking for an investment of 1.2 million pounds, which will go towards fertilizer modules, machinery to basically process sargassum into agricultural fertilizer for the world, hydrogen modules to convert this into hydrogen, upon which our partner will convert this into a solid transportable form, and operations as well as facilities, overhaul, R&D, and salaries, so we can basically export all products to our end users and clients.
And with this investment, what we could do together, you can see here in our quite conservative, actually, financial projections with a small revenue, even in year one, which is then expected to increase from an initial $70,000 to $7 million in year 5 once our hydrogen business is up and running.
And for the purpose of not ending on numbers, I wanted to introduce the faces of some of our QR core founding team that has been here for years. It's a very diverse bunch of marine scientists, engineers, comms experts, sustainability researchers, divers, and more. So it is with this team and your funding that we can make the sargassum-fueled circular economy a reality. Thank you very much. So if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with us via info@ProjectQRSargasso's.com. Thank you.
Thank you.